Hi you guys, it is I, the Concrete Catwalk, and I want to say welcome back to my channel for my catwalkers, and for those of you who are brand new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am a reseller, online reseller, and I talk about thrifting, I talk about fashion and style and everything else in between. So for those of you who are your first time visiting here, I want to say welcome. Also, just to let you guys know, I have a closet on Poshmark. I am Concrete Catwalk on Poshmark, so head over there, follow me, check out my closet. I list items weekly. So if there's something in my closet you see that you are interested in, send me a message. We can talk about it, and you can get it before someone else does. Also, follow me on Instagram. I am the Catwalks Concrete on Instagram, and you can also direct message me there if there's anything you have a question about or something that you see that I've posted on IG that is going to be listed in my closet. Hey, we can talk about it there too. But anyway, today we are going to talk about rookie mistakes and things to avoid when you have an online business. When you find things, thrift things, specifically for resale, getting into this and you're new to having this kind of a business, and even if you already have an established business, these are some things that you still may want to consider. But mainly this is directed towards people who are just getting their feet wet with having an online show. So one of the things that I think everybody who's been into this online resale situation with clothes, whatever it is that you end up buying too many things and you begin to feel overwhelmed. And by that I mean you haven't really narrowed down what your niche is, what your focus is in terms of what it is that you want to sell. Some people are really good at selling shoes. Some people are really good at selling bags. Some people are really good at selling a mix of things. I'm actually one of those people who prefers to sell shoes, bags, and whatever else in between. But what I've learned, or what I've had to learn is, and I'm simply sharing because I say this every single time on my channel, the advice that I give is just based upon what my experience has been. What you choose to do with it, that's on you. What you get from it is what you get. So I tend to just take a little bit of those things at a time and list those things because that works best for me. And I would just say to anybody who's getting into this is don't overwhelm yourself with a whole bunch of stuff. Just take a little bit, list a little bit, and see what happens from there. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work, then you know you can subtract that out of some things that you would consider selling and maybe focus on something else. So yeah, don't get yourself caught up in a situation where you're looking at a whole bunch of stuff and you can't do anything with it, or it's slow to move. You know, we all like to hunt, the treasure hunt, but you got to be realistic with it and realize that that stuff has to move. So, you know, it might be tempting, but if it doesn't work, don't do it. I'll say this too, and this is hard. You know, and I'm gonna turn it back around and I'm saying me. I have had to learn that I've got to set some time aside, or set an amount of time aside that I dedicate to the focus, which is the online business, meaning listings, organization, in the office space downstairs where all of this takes place, and doing that on a weekly basis is sometimes very difficult, but it has to be done. You've got to have a routine, because if you create a routine, the routine sets a pace. And essentially what that does is that keeps you focused. It keeps you know that in this 5-hour block of time, you've got, let's just say 30 items to list in this amount of time. Or you've got a pile of whatever it is that you want to get through before you allow yourself to go out sourcing again. Because I've had to get to the point for myself where it's like, you can't bring anything else in unless you send that stuff out the door, period. And if you pace yourself and you create a schedule, a workable schedule where, it's not going to be unrealistic, it's something that you can do and you're happy with and you're content with, then that will essentially help you to avoid burnout. Legit. Because let's just be real, having an online business is a beast. It is 24/7 nonstop. Questions, people, returns. It is legitimately a situation where you could find yourself just constantly going and going and going and going and never feel like you've got enough room to breathe, because always being on full throttle sucks. Always being in a situation where you are running all over the place, post office, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, it causes a lot of wear and tear on you, and it also begins to cause you to become frazzled, and sometimes it leads to people being in a situation where they just begin to lose interest in doing it because it's no longer fun anymore. So you've got to pace yourself, and you've got to realize that you've got to keep it so that it's a steady movement. You don't want your business to stagnate. You want it to be a steady movement, and you want it to be a situation where you can manage that movement and not feel overwhelmed. So I think that a lot of the times too, with that expectation, when you have a business like this, because it's an unusual animal, it's different because it's not like brick and mortar. I can't speak to brick and mortar because I've never owned a brick and mortar situation. Having an online business is essentially the world being able to knock on your business door, if you will, or come into your storefront, if you will, and be ready to purchase. Whenever that may be. It could be 1 in the morning, it could be 6 in the morning, it could be 12 midnight, it could be 10 o'clock at night, it could be whatever. And on holidays, come on. And I think that puts people in a situation where, and it did for me, where, you realize what is happening, and you begin to look around at what others are doing, and you see the progress that they're making, and you begin to lose a little bit of patience. And I'm saying this because of the fact that the pace at which this can possibly move, you get excited about it. And you begin to look around at other people and be like, well, they're doing this, and they're pulling this, and they're selling that, and they're constantly. You don't know what the behind the scenes are for that person. Meaning, you don't know what their growth curve or their learning curve was to get their business to that point of always turning over volume and sales. You don't know what the history was. So I'm simply saying, be patient. I've had to learn, you've got to be patient when you're in this business. It's better to do it gradually. When I say that, I'm talking baby steps, so that as it starts to evolve and it starts to pick up pace, you can essentially effectively and efficiently handle that and be ready for whatever the next step means that you have to build upon to match the pace of which you're selling. You want to be like this. You want to be like this, where you're at you're meeting the need. Whatever the business is doing, you're meeting the need. Point blank. So be patient. Don't rush this. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey of growing your business. Don't get in the business of comparing. Don't get in the business of being fixated on they're doing this amount of sales and I'm doing this. Because the biggest thing you don't want to lose focus on is making sure that you maintain the pace and that you can keep up with the demand and what it is that people are seeking from you as a seller. So, that true too with regards to what you're sending out. Please make sure that you consider always, and you want to have this on hand, is keep your supplies supplied up. That's one thing that I've had to learn consistently is once I start realizing that, okay, I'm low on this, I'm low on whatever it may be, boxes, I'm low on packing tape, I'm low on whatever. You've got to make sure that you have the necessary supplies you need in order to help you with your listings and effectively being able to get them out of the door. Point blank. That also includes anything you've got to print out for postage, or having computer equipment that's up to date so that you can do multiple listings, however it is you're going to do it, or whatever platform you might be selling on, whether it's Marikai or Poshmark or eBay, Etsy, whatever. Be prepared. Supplies. Even if you point, click, snap the picture, put it in the box, wrap it pretty, and tag it with whatever it may be. Could be a pair of high-heeled boots. But as long as they're in the box, all you got to do is print the label once the person decides that they want to buy it, and you send it on out the door. But the less you have to do running around trying to get these things together so that they can go out to the post office, the better. So keep it all on hand. Be prepared. Cuts down on a lot of drama in the end. I'll say this, just in terms of my experience with wanting to do a business like this, and this is just some things that I experienced from people, and that is this. When you decide you want to have a business in the first place, when you decide that this is something that you think, you yourself know that you would like to do because you have a feeling you'd be very successful at it. And I'm not being an asshole when I say this, but you have to get connected to people who are going to be like-minded and think like you do. You have to get into an arena where there are people who are in the same situation as you. Because a lot of the times, when you try to do this and you go down the road of venturing into a situation like this, a lot of times your family and friends, unless you have friends who are into the same kind of thing, they're not going to get it. You're going to have family members who are, why do you want to invest all your time and why do you want to... No. Get on social media. Get on social media and start networking with people. Build support networks with people who are doing the same thing. I have met so many great people on Instagram, and not only just on Instagram, but you get that relationship off of Instagram, meaning you put the name to the face and you meet the physical person. It's the best thing in the world to see a person in the flesh that you've been communicating with, and you can see that their ideals and their love and their passion about resale and vintage is real. That is the most exciting thing in the world to be able to see and to actually meet some of the greatest people. This whole universe of thrifting and vintage and reselling, it's a dynamic community. But please, stay out of all the drama that happens behind the scenes with being on social media. I choose to just speak about myself. I am not here to cut up another person, to knock down another person, to leave little nasty comments, or to follow and unfollow people, which I cannot stand. And I've said this before, if I choose to follow and support you, I'm choosing to follow and support you because I like your content, I'm interested in what you have to say, and I want to follow because I'm intrigued. Period, point blank. But anyway, I don't want to prolong this. Wanted to keep it short and sweet and let you know that those are the things that you want to pay attention to when you are getting into online selling. So, at the end of all of this, just want to let you guys know, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tap that bell button so that you get all the notifications about my next vids that go up in the future. So anyway, don't want to keep you longer. Want to say I love you all. Happy Sunday, and I will see you next week. Bye, you guys.